IT sector is in focus. We've had a couple of deals. Firstly, HCL Tech has acquired Geometric, and secondly, HP has bought into Emphasis. HP has exited Emphasis, and Blackstone has bought into that. Plus, we have the new listing of Infibeams as well. Geometrics is up 18%. Let's get in a perspective coming in on this deal. Sarabjit Kour Nangra, VP Research at Angel Broking, is now joining us on the phone line. Sarabjit, first your view on the HCL Geometric deal. It's a very small deal for HCL Tech.
Yeah, very small. In fact, I would say insignificant to a large extent in terms of the size and its contribution to HCL. But yeah, I guess it will augment its already business that's there of HCL in terms of engineering services and others. So I guess it's a good addition to the portfolio.
Right. What about Geometric? It was always known that they are looking to exit, and promoters eventually will exit one day.
I don't track that stuff, so I can't comment much about what developments are happening there. But I guess they have seen, as far as I know, they have seen a couple of exits and entry points. So it's nothing new for the company. But I guess they reach a stability wherein the management is not an issue and business becomes the core. Because even the business is doing fairly well, but they have seen a lot of hiccups in terms of exits and entries actually.
Right. What would you make of what's happening with Emphasis? HP has exited. Blackstone has bought in 2 big deals happening in more than 1,000 crores plus each. You think it's largely towards the start of a consolidation phase in the sector?
We have been saying that for a pretty long time that for mid-cap IT and small-cap IT to survive, the consolidation is the only way because large caps have cornered the major share in global IT spending. And with global IT, India garnering almost 50 to 60% of the market share in global IT outsourcing, I guess it makes sense that these smaller players who are not able to scale up, there are companies like Persistent Systems and others which are pretty consistent in terms of their growth and profitability, but there are many companies who are not consistent. For such companies, I guess it makes sense to either participate in some form of consolidation, and that will happen eventually, I guess. But since it might take time, but that's what the trend for these companies will be unless they change their way of functioning that they have functioning so far.
Right. Do you expect a lot more deals to happen in the space?
It should happen, but I think the pace will be slower only because IT companies are looking for a value accretion to happen. HCL has acquired Geometric at a very good valuation, actually. There is not much of, much of high premium paid. So I guess you need Indian companies also to get into that before, that happens. So it's not easy. It's because, mid-cap companies also want good valuations done for their companies. And obviously, acquirer also wants a decent value for himself for acquiring these companies. So I guess it's a tussle which will not end up so smooth. So I don't think the pace will increase. But yeah, you will see this pace increasing once these biggies become further big. So I guess some managements will give in and some will try and make their models again. Like Persistent, I don't track it on my coverage, but given its track record and the kind of work that they're doing, they're pretty consistent in terms of the performance. So I guess such companies will still take some time before they give in, and some companies which are finding it difficult to manage their affairs in the given environment will definitely be targets.
Right. What do you make of the IT numbers that are likely to come in? You think large caps will again be very mixed? It will not be a very sector trend as we have seen earlier. It will be very polarized?
As I said, industry is consolidated now. So, though obviously quarterly and annual run rates at which they will function for next couple of years matters. But I think at this scale and size, we are not too much worried about, earlier there was quarterly numbers were given too much of weightage because this industry, when Infosys listed, the trend has started from there. People have started tracking Q-on-Q numbers. But I guess it's have lost its significance because earlier the companies were smaller. Now these companies are pretty huge. I mean, you have seen Infosys go through tough time and it's bouncing back. So there is no such trend which I would like to see in a company. Apart from that, if they can manage their growth for next couple of years, a visibility, good management, and a profitability to be managed. So coming to your quarterly question, I think there will be some companies like Infosys which would be doing fairly well for themselves because the guidance has been pretty bullish. HCL has guided for a better second half than the first half. Wipro also has been quite decent given that it's the last quarter. So I don't think it's a quarterly trend anymore. It's about order book positions, how fast they fill it up and how they execute it. And they're quite big now to be, valued or to be gauged only on the Q-on-Q numbers actually.
Right. Thank you so much, Sarabjit, for taking out time for us. We'll focus on what happens in terms of numbers as well as any further deals in the IT space. We're taking a break. Coming back into on the other side, we'll play out an exclusive interaction that my colleague had with Nitin Gadkari, Union Minister, Road Transport.